Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a while, hasn't it? I hope everybody is well. Today I've come to you to open up, let's say, a little sub-series, because the following topic is a little bit big. And I'm not confident enough to cram it into one 15-minute video, like I did with politics and fiction. And I have a feeling that there I have to go back as well and pick it apart. But for now, let's just begin with Lovecraftian horror. I've read a few of Lovecraft's stories. Book, come here. And I shall give you the titles. So if you are interested to follow along, then you may want to consider these stories. So, in order in the big book of Lovecraft I have Dagon, The Statement of Randolph Carter, Beyond the Wall of Sleep, Nyarlathotep, The Picture in the House, Herbert West Reanimator, The Nameless City, The Hound, The Festival, The Unnameable, The Call of Cthulhu, because of course, The Silver Key, The Case of Charles Dexter Ward, The Color Out of Space, The Dunwich Horror, A Whisperer in Darkness, At the Mountains of Madness, thank God, The Shadow over Innsmouth, The Dreams in the Witch House, The Thing on the Doorstep, The Shadow Out of Time, and The Haunter of the Dark. Whew. A lot of them. But yeah, those are the stories I have read. I have my favorites in there, but if you want to follow me along, those are the stories. So, what do I want to do? First, by the way, before I begin with this list, as of this recording, I sincerely do not know how many parts this little sub-series will have. So, keep that in mind. The following list will be loose at best. It may be less, it may be more, most likely more, or the other most likely case, it actually maybe end up exactly how many parts I say in a few seconds. Second, before we begin with the list, as with politics and fiction, these are my thoughts, my opinions. So I reserve me the right to be wrong. And if I am wrong, point it out. So now I shall continue. There will be a look at the sublime, because there's a good bit of it in Lovecraft's fiction. Second, his characters. most of them in the stories I've read are a certain type of character. In the case of Dagon, I'm not sure actually, but that's for that video. What else? What else? I might try to compare Lovecraft stories I have with Bram Stoker's Dracula. And if I can find it again, maybe even Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Both of which I have. I'm also currently reading Dracula. So, but I do not know where I put my copy of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. But when the time comes, I'm probably again in proper possession of it and have read it again. And like Dracula, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, at least the copy I have is rather short. So that makes 3. There may be a 4th thing, because some of Lovecraft's stories aren't horror primarily. At least one I have read. And even then, if the most of the others I have read also have things in common with that other genre he touched upon, mainly because of his characters. That other genre is sci-fi. A genre I'm not really interested in, and a genre I don't really know a lot about. My father is a sci-fi fan, me not so much. I like elves more than aliens. So, there you go. That one might fall out of this list because I may not feel confident enough at all to tackle it. So that's that. So we have the Sublime, Lovecraft's characters, and a comparison between Lovecraft's horror slash Lovecraftian horror. Oh, by the way, Lovecraft's horror and Lovecraftian horror, maybe 0.4/5, because it might be a little bit different, because Lovecraft's horror is horror that stems directly from the man himself, and Lovecraftian horror as how do I put it, is maybe a bit more others trying to emulate Lovecraft's horror with their own touch. So But that will be certainly at the end, and it's probably just me going off on a tangent about terminology. So keep that in mind as well. So those are at least the 4 videos you can look forward to. I shall finish at one point Dracula, grab my copy of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, wherever it is, and dive back into Lovecraft. And hopefully the next 4 videos on the coffee table will be enjoyable as well. Hopefully just as enjoyable as the very first one, the politics and fiction. And I will probably also write little essays, thought pieces along with the videos. So again, just like politics and fiction. So until then, I will say good night and sleep well.